We are kicking off with the Royal Rumble as the most unpredictable night on WWE's calendar is drawing near, with fans wondering who to expect in the two Rumble matches. CM Punk has already declared for the men's match, but in a recent interview with Kathy Kelly at UFC 311, Punk teased fighter Belal Muhammad being a surprise entrant. With Muhammad by his side, Punk said that you never know who will enter the Rumble match, but made no promises when Belal asked Punk to refrain from throwing him over the top rope. Punk was the runner-up in last year's Rumble match, and a win this year would guarantee him a world title match at WrestleMania and make Punk's dream of headlining the show very possible. As for Belal, the fighter could certainly shock fans by entering the men's Rumble match, and we'll just have to wait until February 1st to see who punches their ticket to WrestleMania 41. In 2023, WWE resurrected the LWO, though fans have noticed that the group has been inactive lately, and just this week, Rey Mysterio competed on SmackDown without LWO branding. Though some believe that the group's days are seemingly up, Sportskeeda reports that the group remains part of WWE's active roster, and Triple H is just biding his time. The game is waiting for the right time and right opponents to use the LWO, and while this is good news for fans of the group, it's hard to ignore how little they've done since being drafted to Raw. On SmackDown, Jimmy Uso faced Carmelo Hayes in a match that ended in chaos when Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga interfered, and now we know more about how this came about. Fightful Select reports that Eric Watts, a former Tough Enough contestant who was on the show in 2011, wrote the segment, while Jamie Noble produced the match and what came after. Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens shared a war of words on SmackDown in a segment written by Christian Scovell and produced by Robbie Roode and Sean Devari. In their segment, both men teased the showdown at WrestleMania 41, and we'll have to see if there's more to come between Mysterio and KO in the ring. On this week's AEW Collision, Christopher Daniels battled Hangman Page in a brutal Texas death match, one that would see the Cowboy get the win. A tombstone and Deadeye on a chair, followed by a buckshot lariat, sealed the win for Page, who after the match used Daniels' own angel wings on the veteran. In the days prior to this match, it was reported that this match was being treated within AEW as Daniels' final match, and on Twitter, Tony Khan thanked Daniels for the performance. While Khan didn't say that this was Daniels' final match, the fact that he thanked him certainly suggested this was the end of the Fallen Angel's lengthy in-ring career. Daniels will remain with AEW as the company's head of talent relations, and are you sad to see him finish wrestling? Let us know your thoughts and favorite Fallen Angel moments below. During Dynamite, Samoa Joe made his surprise return to save Hook from a beatdown by Christian Cage and the Patriarchy in his first appearance for AEW since July 2024. Fans won't have to wait long to see him back in the ring, as on Collision it was announced that Joe will face Nick Wayne on next week's Dynamite in his first match in over 6 months. The former AEW World Champion has been away filming Season 2 of Twisted Metal on Peacock, but now Joe is back and ready to unleash violence on the AEW roster. At one time, Ricky Starks was seen as a potential future top star in AEW, but given his absence from TV since March of last year, his future with the company looks increasingly uncertain. This week, Starks returned to the ring to compete against Mike Santana at House of Glory's Watch the Throne event, and after the match, he cut a passionate promo. He said, "Every time I grab a microphone, I somehow get in trouble, so I'm gonna say it as plainly as this. I cannot thank each and every one of you. I've been reading your messages, asking if I'm mentally okay, asking if I'm good, checking on me. You don't know me, but that's the thing about this wrestling shit. It don't matter. We're all part of one thing," Starks told the crowd. "I have loved wrestling since I was 7. I told my mom I would buy her a house off of this, and damn it, I've done that, and I'm close to giving her anything else that she wants. If the road ain't paved with cement, guess what? I guess I'm putting on my construction hat and I'm going to work. If you thought I was somebody less than a year ago, guess what? You're sadly mistaken, because I've evolved into a man 4 years from today." Closing out his emotional speech, Starks made one final promise, saying, "With the last dying breath in this New Orleans heart, I tell you this, I'm gonna stay absolute till I die, you heard? You best believe that I'm gonna make sure that I make a quick trip back here to Chicago." There's no word on when, if ever, Starks will return to AEW TV, but his message is clear that he's not done in the ring and, in fact, is just getting started. The Absolute Star isn't going anywhere, as he's got plenty of unfinished business in the ring, no matter if that ring belongs to Tony Khan or if it's somewhere else. When John Cena shared last year that he'd be retiring in 2025, wrestlers quickly put their names forward as possible opponents, including Randy Orton, CM Punk, and Braun Breaker. One name synonymous with Cena is John Bradshaw Layfield, who this week was asked on the Something to Wrestle podcast about possibly facing his old nemesis one more time. He said, "Of course, yeah, because I think the world of John, and I was so happy that I was part of John's formative career. Again, don't take any credit for anything. John did. John would be exactly where he is now, with or without me. I'm just glad that I was one of the ones that was there at the start. Though JBL would love the chance to wrestle Cena, the WWE Hall of Famer who retired from competition in 2009 made clear this won't be happening. He said, "It's not gonna happen, by the way. There's absolutely zero talk of it." Cena captured his first of 16 world titles at WrestleMania 21 in 2005 by beating JBL and plans to add a 17th title reign to his name before he calls it a career. But what do you think? Would you like to see Cena versus JBL one more time? And who else do you want to see Cena wrestle on his farewell tour? Let us know below. JBL has been announced for tomorrow's Raw in Dallas, Texas, but he won't be filling in for Pat McAfee, who will be missing from the show to cover the College Football National Championship. With McAfee gone and Corey Graves still missing after his outburst, it'll be Wade Barrett who dons the headset alongside Cole on next week's show. In June 2024, Rich Swann was arrested for disorderly intoxication with his latest run-in with the law, and this week an update was given on the former Impact World Champion. In a Q&A, PW Insider's Mike Johnson was asked about Swann, and he shared that he is focusing on his sobriety and has shaved his head in a bold new look. Johnson did not provide any information on when, if ever, he'll return to TNA, but said that Swann has looked impressive in matches and hopes to see him succeed. Swann remains suspended from TNA and has entered a nolo contendere plea, meaning he neither admits nor denies the charges against him. Do you think Rich Swann should be brought back to TNA, or has he spoiled his latest opportunity with the promotion? Let us know below. At last year's Hard to Kill event, Nick Nemeth debuted for TNA, and by July's Slammiversary event, the Wanted Man had become TNA World Champion. Since then, Nemeth has led TNA as the company's top star, but despite his lofty position, the champ isn't interested in signing a lengthy contract. Speaking to Adrian Hernandez, Nemeth was asked about signing a contract extension and shared that he refuses to sign a long-term deal with any company, including TNA. Nemeth clarified that he believes in TNA and its future, but after leaving a long-term relationship with WWE, he's decided not to commit to another lengthy contract. He's assured those in TNA he isn't going to leave the company he loves and that his appreciation for TNA has grown both in the ring and backstage. Nemeth has confidence in the company's future and praised the likes of Tommy Dreamer, Gail Kim, and Ariel for their contributions and predicted a significant 5 years to come for TNA. Nemeth is proud to be with TNA and plans to stay for a long time even without a long-term contract, a testament to the positive steps the company has made after some shaky years. Tonight, Nick Nemeth will put the TNA World title on the line against Joe Hendry at Genesis, and win, lose, or draw, expect much more of the former WWE superstar in TNA wrestling. The last time AEW fans saw Angelo Parker in the ring, he was losing to Zack Knight on the April 10th Rampage as part of the rivalry between Parker and his wife Ruby Soho against Knight and Saraya. This angle ended when Soho announced she was pregnant, and the couple welcomed their daughter Evie in October, and now Parker is set to make a return. On Collision, Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia were approached by Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong, who pointed out that the two needed a third man for a trios match. Garcia told Menard to call the new dad, and Parker's debut has been confirmed for next week's Collision in Jacksonville. And we're ending with AEW Grand Slam Australia, which is facing a conflict with TNT's All-Star Saturday Night NBA event, which is expected to result in AEW's show being pushed back. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that Grand Slam will air following NBA All-Star Saturday, meaning the show will be broadcast around 2:30 a.m. Eastern. This show will also air on Saturday, February 15th as the replacement of that week's Collision, and we'll have to see what matches get added to AEW's first ever card in Australia.